Hello and welcome back to me and my screwdriver, the only channel that is going to disappear for 2 months, not explain themselves, and then change to a somewhat different style of content, maybe. Basically, I've been very into Forsaken recently, so I'm probably going to do a lot of videos on Forsaken soon, and I kind of just want to do a video, basically going over all the achievements, because if you ask me, I think in the game there's some flaws that have recently come around with Forsaken, surrounding its development and potential money, but that's aside the point. In the game, I think achievements are heavily flawed. I think that some of them are just really not that good, and I just kind of want to use this as a way to talk about them and rank which ones I think do work, what format they should use for achievements going forward. To clarify, I've not got the milestones because I just think that'd be really boring to rank, quite frankly, and I've only got Survivalist and Cold-Hearted free for these because, again, I don't really see the point in ranking each one. I guess you could argue maybe I could talk about if I think that the milestone being talked about, like 250 killer wins, is that a good amount? Is 500 good? I mean, 500 is the one that I'm going to talk about in terms of killers. But I guess you can make that argument. I just don't think it's going to be that interesting to mention. To clarify, S, A, B, C, F, it's a basic tier list. I'm not got any funny names this time, unfortunately. And with that all said, I think I'm just going to get into it. Starting with the Welcome to Hell achievement, the only one that's actually got a badge attached to it, which I think is a little bit unfortunate. I think they should all have badges, but I digress. I mean, it's not really like... How do I rank an achievement that's just join the game? You know what I'm saying? I guess we go with B tier. It does its job, I guess. Now Survivalist, they're the same images, which is annoying, but Survivalist 5, I think is a pretty good amount. I think 1,000 survivor wins. It's difficult to achieve. It's a good number, 1,000 good number. I think it's pretty fair. I think 1,000 survivor wins is a good amount, a very fair amount. I'm going to put it in a solid A tier. I would say the killer one on the other side, 500. That is a lot of killer wins. I think it's not an absurd amount, to be honest. It's nothing crazy. But that many killer wins is just sort of insane to me, and I feel should have probably been lowered. I would say 300 would be a fair amount, maybe even 400. Obviously 500 is a more impactful number, I suppose, but yeah, I feel 500 killer wins. Also, I should have mentioned I have every single achievement, that's why I'm doing this. I would say it's quite annoying. I think it's more of a grind than Survivalist. So I think if I remember correctly, I got Survivalist after maybe 7 days of playtime, I want to say. 7-8 days of playtime. Killer was 10 days of playtime. I mean, it's a very stark difference. And so I think it should be a similar amount of time for either one. So I'm going to put it... I don't think it's atrocious. I'll put it in a B tier, but below the Welcome achievement. You've got this one, which is... I'm not going to remember all the names. Is to survive LMS. I think this is a good achievement. I don't really have any issues with it. It teaches the player of LMS. I think it's a very big accomplishment to actually make it to LMS and then win it. And I think it's just a good achievement. I think a solid A tier, yeah. This one here is the opposite. You got to lose LMS. I think it's a little bit. I don't know. I feel the achievement should just be get to LMS rather than lose it. Well, there's an achievement. No, we'll get to this later. Jesus Christ. I think losing LMS. It's not an atrocious achievement. It's just an odd choice, I guess. Put it at the bottom of B tier. So this achievement is given for having a match where no one dies, which I think it's not going to take long to get. This is one that you can get very naturally. I would say these earlier ones are kind of hard to talk about because it's very much just very naturally occurring things. But I would say this one, I'm a little bit leaning against not loving it, just because it sort of relies on the team more than yourself. Yes, you have to save other survivors and whatnot, obviously. Protecting survivors is the main game play loop for most survivor classes. However, for example, if you like playing 007 or Noob, you can't really do that much. Even with Builderman and stuff, I'd say, It's more on the survivors to actually go to your loop spots that you're setting up. So I'm gonna put this on the lower end of the spectrum. I'm gonna go like a C tier. It's not atrocious or anything, but I don't think it works fantastically. So this one is awarded for winning a game with less than 20% health, and I think it's a pretty. I think it's pretty nice. It's another one where it's just like I don't really care too much for it, but I think it's kind of cool to sort of be like, ooh, skin of your teeth, you won. Yeah, I think it's just like a nice like way to be like, hey, you did that. It's kind of cool. I think like A tier. This one. Escape art, die within 20 seconds of the match. Awful achievement. A lot of the bad achievements are going to fall into this trap of it encourages players not playing the game. This is not only really boring, but also annoying for other survivors. As the name suggests, you're meant to reset, which I actually don't remember. Can you reset as a survivor? I don't actually know. But either way, you have to either reset or get straight to the killer. Either way, you're wasting your team's time, obviously. Really annoying, really annoying. I don't like achievements like this. This one, I believe, is the one for healing up to back to full health after being lower than like 30% or something. I think it's nice to have like an achievement that just like teaches the value of a medkit and how impactful they can be. I guess my only complaint is there's not one like that for Bloxy Colas, but I think this is a good achievement to have in the game. Nothing fantastic. I think it's a good one for like teaching the player the actual like game. This one, I know it's called Iotic Work of Art. Okay, this one's just wiping the lobby as a killer. I think it's similar areas like LMS where it's just like, hey, it's a good like accomplishment. I think winning LMS is a little bit more intense as Survivor, so I think I'm gonna keep it just below there, but it's just one of those where it's like, hey, it's a good thing to award players for. Now this one's very complicated for me to talk about. Unlikely winner, part 1 specifically. Now, the whole achievement is you need to play a survivor and win the match without using any of your abilities. This is heavily dependent on what survivor you're playing as. First of all, you can get this achievement very easily with just like a killer leaving the match, which is annoying. I think achievements that require you to win should only be awarded if the match is over a minute long. Which is guaranteed to be if you're going to win, because even if you're the only player there, obviously LMS is a minute 14, so it's a guaranteed event that's going to happen. It's going to be over a minute if the killer doesn't just leave the game. But I would say the achievement itself is, well, like if you're playing like Noob or 007 and you do that, fine, somewhat actually, you know, impressive. But if you're playing like Guest and do this, it's sort of like, well, you've just not been helping the team at all. It's very dependent on what character you're playing if I like this achievement. So I'm gonna stick it bottom of C tier. I think more time, obviously there's more survivors that you need to help the team rather than just like hide. So I think overall I don't like the achievement more than actually like it, but I think it's fine. I'd actually be really party. This is easy S tier achievement. I'd say this is probably the best achievement in the game. Winning as killer only using your M1. Such a fun challenge. Doesn't ruin the survivors playing because you're still trying to kill them, obviously. And as killer, it's still just like a fun, entertaining challenge to do. So I think it's like the perfect balance. Both sides are having a fun time when it comes to this achievement. Great achievement, great achievement. Sparkly Clean. Again, it's sort of got, I feel like it's got a similar issue to this one, not to the same degree. I'll put it above 14 like living, but it's got the same issue where it's just like you're somewhat encouraged not to help your team. It's not outright you can't help them. In this scenario, you literally cannot help your team. It's not like that. However, it is like sort of like, hey, you probably shouldn't be going towards the killer, which you need to do as like 3 or 4 sentinels. Even then, chance seems to get like relatively close, you know. So yeah, I would say pretty bad achievement. This one here is awarded for getting, I think it's 3 or 4 status conditions. Basically like your poisons, weakness, and whatnot. It's just very easy, especially when you're against like 1x. I don't know, it's just one of those things that's gonna happen naturally. I think it's fun though, I think it's fine. I think it's like B tier. Don't love it, don't hate it. Yoink! This achievement is so fucking pointless. It is literally just pick up an item that's, that's been dropped by a dead player. This is just like, hope someone dies with an item and then pick it up. I genuinely cannot think of why anyone would care for this achievement. It's like top C tier. It doesn't really add anything, does it? Now, there are 2 placeholder achievements, so apologies for that. I couldn't really do anything about it, because it's how it was on the Forsaken Wiki, which is where I got all these images from. Placeholder achievement. You get this for, as killer, making someone rage quit, which I'm conflicted, right? Because on one hand, I think it's a funny thing. You know, it's funny when you see someone rage quit, and having the game acknowledge it is nice. I like that. Where I kind of take issue is it's a luck dependent thing. You can't really do anything about it, you know. So yeah, I guess it's fine. I don't know. It's luck dependent. Funny that it acknowledges it. I bottom of beta, I think. Gluttonous Beast. I hate this achievement. This achievement is so bad. Encouraging players to like steal an Elliot's pizza from someone who actually needs it. When people already do that, guest mates, I'm looking at you. Why? Why would you ever want someone to do that? Why would you ever encourage someone to do that? What a stupid achievement. What a fucking useless achievement. Jesus Christ. It's not even like fun to get, because you're not going to be like, me personally, I'm not like laughing, like, oh, I stole that pizza. I'm kind of just like, damn, I just kind of ruined the game for this person, you know? I'm more like annoyed at myself than like happy I actually did it. I don't like it. This Boxy Cola one for a noob. This is another one of those where I'm kind of conflicted because no, I'm not conflicted. I think it's just kind of bad. It's you're wasting a Boxy Cola, you know, and I think that's not great. So weird it encourages that. To cover it, this is also us moving on to the Survivor specific achievements, which are very interesting because I feel like a lot of them try to sort of teach you how to play the Survivor, but also some very clearly don't, and so it's very weird to talk about these, you know? So yeah, Boxy Cola, it kind of creates like a bad habit. I don't think it's like atrocious, but like, I'd put it like maybe here, I think, just below Sparkly Clean. This speed one, using like a cola to like run across the map, I think this one's kind of nice. I think it just kind of like does a good job showing like what cola can be used for, how much distance you can truly make with Noob's kit. I think this is a fun one. Nothing like crazy or anything, probably like a high B tier. I would say that this one here, actual noob, where you've got to use the Slate Skin and then use the Bloxy Cola afterwards, negating the effects of Bloxy Cola. I think that's fun. It teaches the player that, hey, you cannot use a Bloxy Cola when you're in Slate Skin. It does a very good job teaching that, and it's just a funny thing. So it also has like a little nice sound effect when you get it, you know. So I would say, nice achievement. I think it's actually a really good achievement. I don't really have any issues with it. All it does is teaches the player a good thing. So I put it like top of 8. Oh, this one here as well teaches the player that you can use in Undetectable to get away from minions, and also just like cause the chase team to stop sort of losing the killer. Very good one. Again, I think this is a really good one. Not to the same degree as, actually no, yeah, I'll say it's even better. I think it teaches a very core aspect of Noob's kit. I think it's pretty good. This one here for Buildman. There's gonna be like 2 scenarios. So if you're gonna put your dispenser in like a place so out of the map that no one's gonna use it, or you just get lucky and hope the killer doesn't find your dispenser. Either way, it's very boring. I don't know, similar thing to Yoink. A bit higher, I guess, but I don't know, it's kind of just like you're playing Builderman, you know, you just kind of want to like, I guess it kind of drills home that you want to make sure your dispenser's not out in the open, but I think that's kind of common sense, you know. This Shadletsky one, I think this is you get like 3 slashes during a match, and I think that is just fine. It's a good amount of slashes, it's about as many as you should be getting every match to help your team. I guess it encourages people to help their team. So I mean, I guess, yeah, it's just a beta. I don't really have any like strong thoughts about it. This one here though, Johnny. This is more of just like, this is such a pointless achievement because it's so easily cheesed. Just like, if you know you're about to die, just fucking pop the chicken, you know, and then you've got the achievement. That's how I did it. Extremely pointless is, I guess, how I'd rank it. This one for Guest, Quick Thinker, block it. I don't know if you have to parry as well, but it's like block 3 attacks in a row. Basically, every single block you have has to connect for 3 times in a row. And that is, I guess, teaching you how to play Guest. I don't know, it's a very similar thing to Shadletsky. I'd say it requires a little bit more skill. Kind of gets you like used to timings and whatnot, so I guess I like it a little bit more, but not much more. This is just plus parry. This is literally just showing that you can parry, which I think is a good thing to show. It's a good thing to show, hey, you can parry your attacks. It's kind of just guess kit though. I don't know, like bottom of B, doesn't really do much. Forward aerial, this one sucks. I think we're reaching the stage of what, like, ones that are very much just like get your friend to help you, because how many times are you going to get this into an action match? I'm sorry. There are so many maps where there's not really much elevation in the first place. And also, how many times is a killer just going to stand next to a drop spot, you know? The only time I can see this like happening in a match is if you're, let's say like on Cool Carnival, you've got a cool kid at the like bottom spot where you like drop down on, let's say, the right side of it, and they're like using their little goonies, the little clones, to like, you know, get you down. Maybe you could, if they do it close enough, you could maybe get it in that scenario, but apart from that, this is very much one that you're just gonna like get a friend for, and then that's it. Boring achievement, really boring achievement. This one's just really fucking annoying to get. This is the last achievement I got, and it was really fucking annoying. Okay, so as guest, get to LMS and then block an attack that would have killed you and then win the LMS, right? There's so many things wrong with this. First of all, reaching LMS in a public server is very difficult, I would say, to happen naturally. A good amount of the time, you know, if a killer is good enough to get someone to LMS, they are probably going to win the LMS. LMS is very killer-sided, if you were to ask me. I'm not massively killer-sided, but I'd say it leans more to being killer-sided. Obviously, with certain killers, it differs. I think Slash is very, very tough to win as in LMS, but apart from that, I would say 9 times out of 10, LMS is pretty much killer-sided, right? So if a killer can already get to LMS, they are winning that LMS 9 times out of 10. So you have that issue. You have to play guest, which is another issue because no one likes playing guest. Me specifically. There's also just the issue of if you're making it to LMS as guest, that probably means you're not a very good guest, right? Guest's whole thing is making sure his team stays alive. If the team doesn't stay alive and the guest is the one to make it to LMS, that heavily implies that the guest didn't do fuck all to help his team, which is encouraging bad habits, you know? And also, it's like this weird middle ground where, like, first of all, a guest block, really flawed piece of kit, and I think it's just bad. I think it's just a really bad achievement. The only plus it has is it's quite hype. It's quite hype if you get it naturally. I did not get it naturally. I just got a friend to help me because it's really annoying, you know? Just getting to LMS as guest is so fucking annoying to do. I put it like here. It's at least got like the hype. Gluttonous Beast has like no benefits. This one kind of does. Next we got Trickture. This one's just useless, I'm gonna be honest. It's literally tricking the killer is the only way to make money or get XP as 007 apart from generators. So, you know. This one does what 3.7 wants to do right. It has the hype aspect of 3.7 because you like narrowly like teleport away from the killer, and it's actually useful. You're actually playing your character well. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is an S tier achievement, right? I think this is an S tier achievement. I think it's a really good one. This one, it's funny, it's not as great. How I did it is I just like was teleporting at the start of every single match when I was playing 007 and just like hope the killer was AFK. That's kind of just how I did it. It's a very luck dependent one. I guess you could probably employ some strategies for it, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be very luck dependent. It's still a funny one. I do quite appreciate the ones that are just like a bit funny. So I'll stick this like, here. This is the one for giving a pizza to a 007. Now on paper, I think this is a very boring achievement. However, I do kind of like the idea of showing some of the lore through the achievements. There's not really, off the top of my head, I don't think there's any of us that really does this, to be honest. But I would really, I actually would really like if like more achievements trying to do this, where like, actually like, doing something that's somewhat related to the lore would actually like give you an achievement. I think it's kind of cool to like tell a bit of a story through the achievements. So I'm actually gonna give this like a low 8 tier. It's not very interesting to get. You're probably just gonna get it naturally. You're just gonna have to like hope a 007 sucks ass and takes damage, and be playing Ellie at the same time. But like, I think it's kind of cool to just like, you know, do something like this where you're like showing how the game is played. Oh, sorry, the story. This one is throwing a pizza to a killer. Every Elliot does this in LMS, so it's just kind of boring. I don't know, it's kind of funny. I'll put it like here. Wasted potential. So this is for dying as 2-time, 10 seconds after respawning, and I think this kind of confuses me because I thought that's what this achievement was. Let me go back to the first thing. Wait, hold on. So yeah, that's for. So okay, so this one is you die 10 seconds after respawn. This one is die, respawn, but like 16 cells away from one another. To me, that's very similar, you know? I don't see the point of having both these achievements. It's one of those going to be very easily just kind of like, either it's going to be luck dependent, or you just kind of like get the ritual, get your oblation up, and then just like chase the killer over to your spawn, and then just like go AFK, and then you've gotten it. Yeah, it kind of just hurts that these have like so many achievements for the same thing. I think I like this one a little bit more because it kind of encourages you not to like die immediately. But apart from that, I don't know. This is kind of just a bit boring. This is for getting 5 heads in a row as chance. It's just a luck dependent one. It's chance though, so I don't really mind it being too luck dependent. I guess we'll go for that. Murphy's Law, this is having the gun backfire on you. Again, I think it's important to sort of like teach the player that like this is something that can happen. I've seen a lot of chance players, like new chance players, get really confused when they take damage after taking a shot because they just don't realise that the gun can explode on them. And so having an achievement that teaches you that, I think is quite important. Not as important as like, you know, stuff like this, which is more like leaning on like tech kind of things with these two, but I think it's still an important like lesson to teach. I'd put it like here. 0.1% of gamblers. This is an atrocious achievement. I'm saying this is worse than Gluttonous Beast. At least with Gluttonous Beast, I can see it being somewhat funny. This one's just not. 0.1% of gamblers is literally you stand in the corner of the map and you keep flipping a coin until you get 50 weakness. It's boring, it's somewhat luck dependent, it means that you're not helping your team, and you're just going to probably get found by the killer and die, you know? And sometimes, even if you go through all of that, you might not get it if you just get extremely unlucky with your coin flips. I think the worst part is that this awards you with a skin. I like achievements awarding people with skins, yes. I do not like it when achievements that are encouraging really bad habits when it comes to playing certain characters awards you with a skin, because it kind of is like, oh, okay, I should do this type of thing on every map. I should try and gamble as much as possible and hope something comes out of it. You know, it somewhat implies there's some sort of like benefit to gambling past like free charges in a way. I don't understand if that's not how like most people see it, but like that's kind of like how I sort of see it. Yeah, really bad achievement, really bad achievement. This one is flip a coin and then just like shoot immediately. It's a little bit better than the guest one, but it's still kind of just playing the game. So there, I guess. Here though, I think this is a fantastic achievement. This is gonna go right here. First of all, it encourages players to do it because it gives you a skin, but also, it's a very good piece of chance tech, I'd say. Using your gun to completely, you know, waste a killer's clone, especially with Cool Kid, fantastic. I think it's fantastic. I think there should be an achievement like this for guests, where it's like charging a minion. Gives you an achievement, because again, it teaches a very important piece of tech when it comes to helping the team. I think this is a great achievement. Fun reference as well, you know? Great achievement, fantastic achievement. This one here, the Wayward Taff achievement, is literally just making it to LMS's Taff. It's one of those where it's like, it's not bad, but like, it's just kind of useless. I don't know why it's in the game. I'll stick it like here. And then the Uber Charge achievement for Dude's Card. This is another one which I think is really good. I might be high A rather than S tier though. 9 times out of 10 you're going to get this achievement with like, blocking a move like Gashing Wound or Speed of Right, very punishing moves. So obviously those do the most damage, and obviously that's going to be more likely to kill someone rather than like an M1 in most scenarios. But I think it's very important to teach players that like certain attacks like Gashing Wound can be blocked by Dude's Card, and significantly so. Really good achievement. Again, encourages it because obviously you know, it's a achievement with a skin. Great achievement, great one to end the survivalist on. Moving on to the killer ones. This one, the Behead achievement, basically killing a survivor with Behead. I can see it being, I'm gonna go like high B, because it does teach that like using a Behead to kill a survivor does get rid of the kill animation, which I think can be very useful for a slasher. So I don't mind this. I'm gonna just rank the March 18th and Friday the 13th achievement together. I don't actually have this one, unfortunately, but I do have this one because, fun fact, first day I played Forsaken, it was Friday the 13th. I didn't know about this achievement or anything, it just like happened to be that case, which is why I was really confused when I played Jason. I was like, oh shit, this guy's broken, and the next day he was nerfed. I just thought that's just how the game was. Both these achievements I think are just fine. I think it's good to encourage players to play on these certain dates, just because it makes, you know, things more interesting. A little bit annoying, they're time gated, yeah, but like, that's really the only downside I can see to them. I'll put them like, it's like here. I'll put them like here. I think they're like, just fine. Sometimes I've actually got it. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. So, I think the White Pumpkin is a very infamous achievement, the What a Shame achievement. Extremely tedious to get, to start with. You have got to kill a survivor next to a Taff Trap with the first hit of Gashing Wounds. I don't think achievements get more annoying than this. It's extremely annoying because it, you know, makes the game boring for the first probably like 30 seconds of the match. The survivors lose a teammate for free, so there's like extra 30 seconds added to the clock for the killer. It's just a boring experience. I will actually say I think it's probably better than this one. But again, it's encouraged because it gives you a skin. Bad achievement, atrocious achievement. Two birds, one stone. I guess it's kind of cool that it teaches that cool kids' corrupt nature can go through multiple survivors. Again, it's nothing incredible or anything, but I think it's a good lesson to teach. I'll put it like similar level as Behead. This one is extremely tedious. I'll put it like down here. First of all, it just fundamentally doesn't work because it counts as a pizza delivery minion killing an Elliot if they're already in the kill animation, and then the pizza delivery minion hits them, which is weird. It's also the actual hit that has to kill them, not the burn, which is also annoying. So it's a very specific scenario where, first of all, already it's kind of annoying. It's difficult to kill anyone with a pizza delivery minion because you have to be at a very low amount of health and have to be, you know, not be on high alert. So it's annoying to kill people in that way, but also has to be an Elliot specifically. It's just annoying. Vlad the Impaler. This is one that you're probably going to get naturally. However, if you do end up like having to like actively go for this one, I really dislike it because it encourages what I call the Sniper John Doe playstyle, where you, instead of trapping, use your spikes to do damage, which is not how John Doe should be played, and is definitely not how it should be teached. There's another bad one. It's not like encouraged or anything, but like, yeah, it just encourages a bad habit. Kill 50 Shelatskis. I think it's quite cool. I'm assuming it's some sort of reference to a Limbus company. I don't know, not played it, and I don't know. I think it's just pretty good. It's a good grinding one. I feel like it's like you feel rewarded for it as well with the skin. I know that door had a lock on it. Esther achievement because it's a fantastic reference. It is lock dependent, but it is a good reference, so I like it, and that is my analysis. This one actually wombo combo. This is another unironically Esther achievement. Really good achievement. Where do I put it? I'm actually gonna put it like here. I think it's a really good achievement. Basically you have to like hit 5 survivors with one Void Rush, and I think that's really fucking good to encourage players to do something like that. Use Void Rush to get as most damage as possible, because obviously, you know, Void Rush stacks damage when you hit more survivors with it. Really good achievement. Really good achievement. I like it a lot. Also, if you're hitting 5 survivors, you're likely going to hit someone twice, so it somewhat teaches how Void Rush works a little bit better, because I see a lot of people use Void Rush to just get the 10 damage and then not going for the slam, which is strange. But yeah, so it somewhat teaches that, somewhat not. This one's a bit weird. It's, you've got to use Void Rush to charge into a guest when they're charging at you. It's just one that's going to happen kind of naturally. I guess it goes like here maybe, I don't know. Not much to say on it, honestly. We get to the fun achievements here. These are very difficult to rank, because they're not really proper achievements. Most of these are just going to end up in C tier. I don't really dislike them, but compared to the other achievements, you know, the actual achievements are very much gameplay based. These are just lobby stuff. This one's very easy. It's kind of just like get it done. I'll just put him like, you know, I'll give him like, honestly, I'm just gonna give them their own tier. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of these. However, the placeholder one, this is black, white, and grey for Taff. And I think it's very useless, because it's basically just mouse, you get it for getting to level 100 with Taff and then interacting with a poster. So, it just feels really useless. It's similar to this territory where it's just like, there's already an achievement for it. I guess it's at least lore, so I'll put it there. And then there's the last 3 achievements. The completionist achievements, I think they're called. I know these two. I'm blanking on this one. Give me a second. So this one is for buying every single character. This one is for surviving on each map, and this one is for dying on each map. I think both of these are a good way to benchmark if you've seen every single map in the game. I think that's a good thing to show players that they've seen everything there is to see. I put it like bottom of B. This is going to be a little bit annoying, you know, some people are probably going to die on purpose on certain maps potentially. And I think this one's really good. It just like is like, hey, you should try out every single character, you should just stick to one. Is essentially what it's teaching. And so I think it can go right about... I can go like here, sure. And that is my list. So, your fun achievements, and then these are the ones that actively hurt the game, if you ask me. Infuriating, can hurt the game. Very luck dependent, can hurt the game. Bad habit, too similar to another achievement. Just useless. Literally just, again, useless. Somewhat useless, but bordering on like at least being kind of cool, I guess. Just a bit of like, it's funny, I guess. This one, very luck dependent, funny though. A bit weird since you've already got one for winning LMS, I don't think you really need one for losing it. Bit luck dependent. Just a bit, again, somewhat luck dependent, somewhat just like, maybe you'll get a friend to do it with you. I think this could be a little bit more lenient. It's a welcome achievement. These two are just fine. This one's just fine. Just fine. Kind of. I think I've underrated this one. I think it does actually like show a good bit of noobs kit. I think the noob achievements are actually really good. Teaches good things. This one should be lower. This one's too easy. I'm actually gonna put this down to C. This is way too easy to get. Doesn't really have a purpose either. Can be annoying. I'll move this down to B tier. Can be annoying, but most of the time it's just going to be a good way to benchmark how many of the maps you played. Same with this one. Good bit of grinding. Encourages playing every single character, which actually I think should be higher actually. Like, way higher. Put it like here. Good bit of lore. Move it down a little bit. This was the just shows how oh no, this is the less than 20% one. Yep. Cool. Show stuff. Similar, just a good milestone to have an achievement for. Good amount of wins needed. Already talked about this one. Shows off important facets of character. Same thing. Just a really fun achievement. Great reference. So that is my ranking of the Forsaken achievements. I think more of them. I think really they only start getting like somewhat good around like here. You know, I can even like see. I can move this down, and then I can move these two actually up to A, I think. But I think the rest of these are either just like boring, luck dependent, useless, doesn't really add anything, or infuriating to get, or actively hurts the game for other people. This one's just really infuriating. I hate this. I think that's about my thoughts overall. I think what they should do is more achievements like this one, difficult challenges that should be challenges that should sort of turn into more common practice, I suppose. Something that seems like a difficult challenge, like hitting 5 throws with one move, but then as you play No Lee more and you get this achievement, you kind of learn the best way of going around using Void Rush, and so you get this achievement basically in passing in a way more naturally. I think that's sort of like the best sort of achievement. Same with this, somewhat same with this. This one's just like fun. I just think this one's really fucking fun. A little luck dependent, I'll admit, but just fun. But yeah, I think more should be like this, which are challenges that are really fun and don't affect other people, or really fun challenges that turn into more just like common practice for you as a player. Or they should be like this, where it's like teaching like important parts of a character's moveset. So, I think that's about it. That's all I've really got to talk about. Overall, I think Forsaken's achievements, there are some really good ones in there. I think anything A and over are pretty good. Anything below that are somewhat flawed or a little bit boring. And I think that's just kind of a shame. Again, would love more achievements in this game if they actually are implemented well. But unfortunately, a lot of them are not. So, I think that's it. That's all I've really got to say. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to become a little screw that I used to build my next table with. I'm probably going to do more Forsaken content, mainly ranking shit. Maybe I'll do some gameplay, I don't know. Fucking see ya.